Dylan, man. Dylan, 13 points clear. Title over for you.
No doubts about that. We will be Premier League champions come May. I don't think, because for us to actually be caught, we probably need to lose around 4 games now. I don't see that happening. We've lost 1 game all season. The boys are doing what they have to do, and yeah, top of the league. A
Okay,
team
but
that
let me
plays
ask
in
you a serious.
Liverpool. Yeah.
I mean, from your point of view, I mean, was there any point you really felt a serious challenge from Arsenal?
Probably when we started dropping points. When we dropped points in Newcastle, Fulham, there was that patchy period we had around end of December, start of January. But then after that, I think it's been pretty okay. It's just that I always knew that we will drop points, but I at the same time also knew that Arsenal will drop points on the at the same time. So
Yeah, I mean that's a good point. Uh, I mean, Steve, going to you, man.
Mhm.
I mean, we this time last week, we were thinking, Liverpool drop points against Aston Villa. There could be a potential banana skin against Manchester City, but instead it was the other way around, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just Arsenal just collapsed. You know.
Mhm. Yeah, Abdi, the only thing the only conversation that was going through my mind, it was just a matter of maybe we might catch up. Maybe we can get the points. But you see, when you look at how Liverpool have been playing, man, just look at the scorecard. The scorecard is just flawless. As much as they've been having games whereby it's been looking ugly, nothing good has been looking in the pitch. They've been managing to get the 3 points. On a bad day, they've managed a point. Look at that scorecard and look at the scorecard in Arsenal. You see, the issue of having the maybe they might lose and maybe we might win. We can't win the league with maybe. We just have to have a clean record. Because if Liverpool take this and I think they're gonna, and I believe they're gonna take this one, because 13 points, as much as we have a game at hand, when if we win that game at hand, and which we're not guaranteed, it will be 10 points. Then you see Liverpool have to again lose 4 games in a row. And is Arsenal capable of winning those three games? Because from the record we've seen, Liverpool have managed only to lose 1 game. Arsenal have managed to lose a couple of games. So it's just it's a question that is not really, it's not a matter of maybe. Liverpool have just been good. Arsenal have not been good enough. They've been trying, but they've not been good enough. Not even a matter of squads, not even a matter of playing, a matter of we've been having issues of injuries, issues of in discipline cases. So it's just in Liverpool have just been their record, the result slip is just clean so far.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they have been ruthless, man, this season. Hillary, from your view coming there, I mean, all the way down the league, looking up. I mean, how does it how does it feel for you, man? Watching Liverpool picking up that title, that number, you know what that means?
As a United fan, it's very disheartening because these are our biggest rivals. That 20 Premier League, brag is no longer there because, well, Liverpool is the best team in the world right now, not even in England alone, but just in the world right now. Slot, one of the praises I can give Slot is how he manages the game. He gives his players a lot of freedom. You can tell that he's not really focused on tactics. And if you look at most managers right now, they're focused on play my tactics or you're not playing at all. If my tactics work, if they don't work, we're sticking to my tactics. If you look at Slot, he adjusts his tactics based on the game. If you look at the Newcastle game, if you look at the City game, Nottingham game, he used different tactics, and you can tell that he's one of the managers from the olden days where I'm not coming with one specific style of play that you have to follow. I have different players. I have players who can suit this style of play. I have players who can adjust to this fixture. So I just like Slot for how he manages the game, and he doesn't really focus on tactics the way these other managers focus on their own specific style of play. And we have to give Slot credit for that because I think that is what is really working for them. Right now, if you play Liverpool, you don't know which style of play they're going to come up with. They played a low block against City and won the game based off the counter. The other games where they come off of you with a high press. There are games where Alexander Arnold is given freedom to go forward. There are games where he's told to just stick to the midfield and not go up front that much. So you can tell that he's not really focused on just one style of play. And I think that's what is lacking on in many managers today.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good point. Good point you made there. I mean, without being premature, I know there are a few Liverpool fans still keeping their feet on the ground, not getting too excited. But the big question mark has been, I mean, you can't expect to be winning any title with midfielders playing as strikers. That's just not in any serious competition. That's never going to work out for you very well. But Steve, man, like, I mean, Liverpool on a slot. I mean, he just turned up, man. He didn't need time. He didn't need time to settle in. He just came. He didn't get 750 million. you know, he didn't like he didn't go spending crazy. He just worked with what we had, and then you can see he set up a certain way the team plays. They throughout the match. Sometimes they'll go like 15 minutes having a bit of possession football, and then they'll go like another 20, 30 minutes hitting you and counter attack. It's like it just during the match there's like a switch in the tactics of the game, which is quite impressive.
Yeah, I think Abdi, at times I sit down and look at this Arsenal team, and then I look at the name and the symbol we represent. We represent the Gunners. The Gunners should be a sign of armory, but we lack that armory. Then you look at the question. I think the right question. The question is, yeah, and I think I've said this before. I don't. I respect the fact that Arteta came in Arsenal when we really needed something. We really needed an identity. We really needed that in Arsenal. He came and brought that spirit back, the Arsenal spirit. Because I remember before, after Wenger's departure and the trial and error with Unai, even when Arteta came in, there was still shambles in them. A couple of shambles within the Arsenal community as per se. Then you could feel like you've lost it as an Arsenal fan, as the players. You could feel the energy wasn't there anymore. But Arteta was able to bring that in the past few seasons that he's been in charge. But now you see, we don't disregard that he's brought us from that era to now where we believe in the Arsenal way again. I think he's gotten too comfortable. He's become too comfortable. He's become too hard-headed because I believe, from what I see, my own point of view, I see Arteta as a person who has no tactics. I think he's the kind of guy who's really concentrated in a certain way of doing things. If they don't work, he's caught in he's caught in a bubble that he can't burst out of. Because I respect the fact that we've been lacking players to play, mostly the number 9 issue. It's been there because it's been there even when Havertz has been there and Gabriel Jesus. You look at when right now we have no striker. We have a makeshift number 9 who's Merino, but he still wants him to play like Arteta. He still wants him to play the way Havertz plays in the game. The same formation, the same style of play, the wings, and bringing the ball back to the middle. You can just I think I when I observe such a style of play, I just believe he has no other way of playing football. Because if you're undermanned, then I think you're supposed to use the weapons you have in a different way. But he wants to use the same tactics with the people who are not supposed to be in that position. But bro, I think our game, the previous game, even the Leicester game was just it was just an easy breakthrough with the 2 goals. The previous game that we were beaten by West Ham and this game that we played yesterday, we just playing. Do you know, like eating dry food, like eating rice that has just been boiled, no salt, no oil, cooked rice, but no taste flavor, no flavor, nothing. Plain football. It's like playing. It's like practice. Pass the ball to the wings. Pass the ball to the midfield. Pass the ball to the goalkeeper. On and off. Nothing creative. Completely plain food. Nothing, no flavor. Because I just don't understand. That's why the thing is, this thing is gone. It's completely gone. And if this is the spirit we're going to use in the Champions League, I think Ateta should start packing up the boys to just stay back at home because we're going to embarrass ourselves terribly in the UEFA Champions League. Terribly.
Yeah, yeah.
We're going to embarrass
I
ourselves.
agree with you.
We're going to embarrass
I agree
ourselves.
with you on that one. I just say, Hillary. I mean, I know every time you hear the word Arteta and Arsenal, it brings a little bit of smile. But when you think about it in other terms, I mean, I think Arteta had an scapegoat was Manchester City and Guardiola. You know, coming second to City, there's 2 seasons in a row, and then even before the last 4 years, City winning the title. I think it was an excuse to be like, this is an unstoppable team, unstoppable City. All this money and whatever they're spending, Guardiola being unbeatable. But then now this season, it's absolutely no excuse because it wasn't against Klopp's Liverpool. Because I even believe even if it was Klopp's Liverpool, he still would have had an excuse to come second to a Klopp Liverpool team that was managed by Klopp. But now this is Arne Slot, first season, comes in. There's nowhere to hide, is there?
I think the easiest way to win a title in the Premier League is to have Arsenal be the ones who are chasing you down because you know they'll never take it from you. But hopefully Arteta signs another contract to 2030. I mean, we need him in the Premier League. For the banter and just for the top four competition. I mean,
you don't need to go that hard. Hey, come on.
but Arsenal, I saw the game and he brought in three fullbacks trying to chase a game. He brought in Zinchenko, Ben White, and Tierney, and he's trying to chase a game. And a few episodes ago I
Yeah,
discussed
but because he doesn't have any strikers.
a few
He
episodes
doesn't have-
ago I brought in the importance of Chido Obi Martin and Aiden Heaven and what it speaks to your academy. Arsenal had the best youngest striker in the under 18s, under 19s competition in the league. And he'd rather go play for 15th place United than be in an Arsenal squad that requires a number 9. That speaks volumes about your manager. Because if your manager brings in three fullbacks before Sterling comes on, I mean, why did you bring in Sterling then, talking about we can revive his career and all that, and you bring in three fullbacks before you bring on Sterling? You have Merino. Sterling has more experience up front than Mikel Merino, but you bring in is his name Mikel Merino self? I'm even confusing names right now. Merino, you bring in Merino to play at 9 when Sterling has scored the most goals for Pep as a forward outside Messi. And you say, I'm here to revive Sterling's career. This is why we brought in Raheem Sterling from Chelsea. I mean, Arteta is I used to call him a glorified Pochettino, but Pochettino had more talent as a manager than Arteta at this point. Another thing with Arsenal that I noticed is, they keep on saying United, we dwell on the history, we dwell on the past. It's all good. You know why we dwell on the past? So that we can hold our players accountable and tell them, in as much as you do this, this is the levels. This is why we keep on comparing our players to the past players because we like to remind them that these are the levels we're fighting
Mm.
for. Arsenal players forget that. Arsenal fans, sorry, forget that they had good players. The other day they were comparing Saliba and Gabriel to the best centre backs we've ever seen in the league, and they only had they've only had 2 good seasons as a partnership. And they started comparing them. Arsenal had the Tony Adams, the Campbells, the Ashley Coles, and Arsenal fans have forgotten that that is the level they should be competing for. The only player that they have that can fit in that caliber is Saka. The rest of the players can't fit in that caliber. And now this is something I
I
even told
disagree.
Mambo. And this is something I even told Mambo that if you don't win anything in this season or next season, you might start losing your players to other clubs. Because with the way
Mm.
Madrid is facing injuries with their centre backs, guess what? If I'm
Yeah.
calling in Saliba, Are you going to replace Saliba with the way your managers don't know how to do recruiting? Remember, your own manager didn't want Saliba.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was
I
an
mean,
Unite protege.
yeah,
Yes,
but you
but
know
your
what?
own manager doesn't have
I mean,
eyes
look,
for
Hillary's
scouting.
got some. You have some points there because I look back at that game that Arsenal played against Manchester City and they won 5-1. Like that, the behavior of that match showed the immaturity of the team. When you had the Louis Skelly mocking Haaland on the floor and the players all like laughing around him. And it just goes to show, like you're Louis Skelly. You haven't won anything. You haven't done nothing, and you're mocking a guy who's won the treble, who's won the title 2 times, who's won the Golden Boot, and who's done so many things. And it goes to show the leaders in the team as well. Because if that was a young Liverpool player trying to mock Haaland, I will guarantee you Van Dijk would have just pulled him up and tell him like slapped him around the back of the head and tell him what are you doing. Do you know what I mean? Like
But
this is not how you
Abdi,
conduct
don't you
yourself.
think
And this is the problem I have with Arsenal. They have all these
Abdi,
they get these
you're
results
being tough.
sometimes.
You're being tough on
Huh?
Skelly. You're being tough on
No,
Skelly
no, no.
because
I'm not. I'm
I
not.
think
I'm
that
not being
was
tough. I'm just saying you have to understand because when Arsenal trying to create this stay humble thing with City. I mean, these guys have won the title four
but
years in a
it was a
row,
thing. It was a
and now
thing.
you're putting Moreno up front, and you're trying to tell Manchester City and Guardiola to stay humble. Like it's just that kind of because if you looked at when Liverpool were battling City, tell me any time you saw Liverpool players like having that kind of behavior in the squad
But I think
or mocking City players or anything.
it was brought because of the previous game, because of what happened during the last part of the game when he was telling Natita to stay humble. I think it was just the team. There was the emotions of the last part of the game when we faced them, the 2-2 draw.
Yeah,
That
but
heated
what I mean
moment.
is,
But so I thought it's been in the
if
mind.
Haaland told them to stay humble, there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
He's not saying it out of like disrespect. He's saying to them, you ain't won nothing. I don't know what you're getting excited for. Like, which
No, my own
is a
issue is
valid
not
point.
even with the players.
Stay humble. Like, why are you jumping up and down for? You haven't won anything. Like, you haven't
Abdi,
done.
my point was not even with the players. My point is with the fans. The fans need to remember that the players they have right now, the way they're bigging them and hyping them up, they are not that big enough to be hyped up. They compared Saliba to Vidic. They compared Gabriel to. Do you
No,
know
but
how
look,
they?
that's trolling. Every fan props up their thing. I mean, the other day I was watching Carragher comparing Salah to Messi. So everyone gets excited a little bit too much. So,
And
like,
that's
I
my
think
whole
people
point,
need
that they
to.
need to realize that they had good players. The players they have right now are not yet the caliber that they need to be hyping them up.
Hey, come on, come on. When Rashford was going through his golden period, I remember you guys were comparing him to Cristiano Ronaldo. So
Yeah.
Nobody compared Rashford to
That was even
Cristiano.
louder.
let's not get too hyped up. Every fan likes to get a bit hyped up. That's just normal trolling. That's what fans do. You know what I mean? You get excited, you get
Stay
a little bit,
humble.
you know, you get a little bit. I mean, look,
I
okay,
don't
let me.
put it.
I mean,
I don't put it.
Dylan.
Okay, my last take would be City would
Yeah,
finish above Arsenal this season.
this team's not serious and this manager's not serious. And that moment was in January. The transfer window. They didn't need to go and spend 100 million on a player. I mean, they could have loaned strikers to cover for the second half of
Yeah.
the season. I mean, you can't. It's embarrassing that they don't have a single out and out striker in that squad of 750 million. Not one. That he could even didn't want to pull anyone out of the under 21s or anyone. Just a striker, a goal scorer, and you can see how that has shaped the last few games when you need goal scorers. And this is football. At the end of the day, your team can play pretty, defend, whatever, but to win games, you need to score goals. That's the matter of fact. It's pretty basic. If you're not scoring goals, you're not winning anything. So Arteta, should he be here next season?
I think it's about time this guy is very arrogant, yeah, because I don't know. I just feel like Ateta is one arrogant human being, if not ignorant or both, because you know when you're about to do something that, like I said, we are the Arsenal, we don't have enough ammunition. Yeah, our armory is dead. There's nothing we can go back to the armory and just get more ammunition, because you're chasing a league whereby the team you're playing, the team you're chasing against, has been able to get their points also all sorted out. Then you continue to the league without more firepower. I don't expect what glory, heaven glory that Arteta was expecting from where to come and sprinkle the blessings on Arsenal to see things to just work out, because it shows you his mentality, his way of doing things. It shows you a lot. That's why I said the issue today. I mentioned earlier that I respect where we've come from as a team and what he's done for the team. I can't be the first to heckle and say that Arteta out, because honestly, we've seen big teams struggling with managers in and out. Not every team that will just get out a manager and bring a manager and it works for them. Because I'm
That's
not.
Liverpool.
Yes, I'm not. I'm not ready. Honestly, Abdi, being just speaking from an honest point of view, I don't want to be in the likes of Chelsea, the likes of Tottenham, the likes of the great Manchester United. Yeah, in this issue of getting a manager issue. I think it's about time we look at someone who can squeeze the arrogance of Arteta and use his skills, because we can see from his way of play he's not bad. There's just something missing.
No. But
Because,
Steve,
yeah,
let me just hold you there 1 second. The
yeah.
thing about Arteta is, from the day Arsenal signed him till today, I never once ever woke up one morning and felt to myself, Arsenal's going to win the title. Even in the last season, when they were playing well and they were doing stuff, I never felt we were going to beat City, because I felt City were too strong and they're going to go for their second half run. This season, I felt when you saw how the first 5 games was, you felt like City were going on a roll in the beginning, and I felt like, well, okay, it looks like City are the ones going to be doing it. And then when Liverpool stepped up, for me, I was like, well, okay, now it looks like it's City or Liverpool. Like, I never ever felt Arsenal were in the equation, and I'll say it, and I say it now, and I say it before. Arteta will not win the title for Arsenal. He'll do these second places, he'll do these runarounds or whatever, but he doesn't have the know-how to push the team over to the edge. That's just the fact. That's just the fact. You can't get over the line. And this season he's shown all his credentials by making everyone think that somehow I'm gonna win the title without a striker. Like, that's just madness.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I don't want to be the one to blow the whistle of Arteta out, because I don't know the way forward. Because I think if we're going to blow the whistle of Arteta out, then I think we need a completely turnaround of a manager. And
Right,
and,
but
and, 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 and a turnaround, yeah.
what are you gonna do next season? What do you think is gonna happen next season? My God.
Because honestly,
it's gonna be worse.
Because honestly, if this is what, because he is, I think it's the fact of where you take off, you get to a height, you get to the maximum. Right now, you're starting to come down, and I think Arteta's graph coming down has started. That Bitcoin has started coming down. It started coming down, and I don't see it going up anytime soon.
Yeah.
Not
All right,
anytime
then.
soon.
Let me. Let's go to Hillary. Hillary, let's go from one hopeful to another hopeful. Hillary, Man United. Last time I remember, you guys were somewhere like in 19th. I don't know, whatever, 20. Where are you now in the league? Sometimes down there it's kind of lonely.
Hey, no pressure. We're just doing our thing, minding our business. Enjoy.
I guess for you guys, I guess what it is for you guys right now is just basically come the summer transfer window, really, and then seeing who's leaving mainly. Are you as interested to know who's being shipped out as much as being shipped in?
Nah, all I care about is winning the Europa League and the FA Cup at this point, because
Say that again. You
all I'm
winning the
interested
Europa
in,
League?
yep, winning Europa League and FA
No,
Cup,
no, no. I mean,
because
come on. Are you serious? You Man United
nah,
winning the Europa League? That's
my
quite
reasons
hopeful.
are the reasons are for financial reasons, because they will
No,
determine
I know you can say
our
that, but
transfer
do you
spend.
really think United have the quality to win the Europa League?
Oh, we'll win the Europa League. Just
Oh
wait.
dear Lord. Okay,
We'll win
Wow.
the Europa. That one I'm sure.
that's a big statement.
I've
I'm
been
gonna hold
saying
you to that.
But
this
then, as well as we
since
can say, Arsenal will win the Champions League. Then, from that point,
nah,
That Europa League, yeah. Wait,
Dylan,
okay.
Europa
Dylan,
and FA Cup.
I might as well say Arsenal are winning the
The only
Champions
reason
League.
I say that is because I'm looking at you're making it sound like you're the United of like maybe when you were finishing in 6th or 7th or 4th or 5th. You know what I mean? This is United in
Because
the second half of the table.
No problem.
Abdi, if they are winning the Europa, then we're winning the Champions League. You get that the bank. If they are winning, then I think Arsenal is more than capable of winning the Champions League.
You
If you win the
know,
Europa League, that will be more pressure on Arteta.
if we win
That's
the Europa or the FA Cup,
the
I
FA
will
Cup.
be
Yeah, say the
here.
FA Cup. That
If we win
more
the
of that.
Europa
That's
or
more
the
likely.
FA Cup, I will be here for these Arsenal boys and I will have your heads because our two worst seasons we've come off better than Arsenal's best team since 2004. Always remember our
No, I
two.
mean you can win the FA Cup and you can do maybe something in the Europa, but let's be realistic. You can't go around saying that Man United is a better team than Arsenal in the last few years.
Nah, I
That's
didn't
not the
say we're a
case.
better team. I
No,
said
no,
we
no,
came off better. The thing is, we came.
no, 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 no. But we did
If
this.
we
We
look
we
back
did
and
this for a
say,
while. It's
no,
not
we
really.
look
It's a
back.
pointless thing. It's a
We
pointless
look
thing
back
talking
and
about the
say,
FA Cup and
who
stuff. You know.
if Amorim comes in mid-season and uses this shady team, this group of players, to win the Europa and the FA, what is Arteta's excuse for going trophyless?
Arteta did that as well when he first came to Arsenal.
Yeah, no problem. But what would be Arteta's excuse for going trophyless with the best team they've apparently had in
Let
over
me
a
let me.
decade?
I'll give you a clue. I'll give you a clue. Yeah, I believe like probably 95% of Man United fans would not care about winning the FA Cup.
Now we don't care. We don't. The point is, you see, for my Arsenal people there, they've been trolling me about relegation. No problem. Troll me about relegation, but do not go trophyless another season while having your best team. The point is, this is Arsenal's best team. We all agree this has been Arsenal's best team for over a decade.
No,
Yeah, but I also don't think. I also think 90% of Man United fans don't really care about Arsenal. I think most of the Man United fans.
I care about Steve and Mambo's banter.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So
That's
that
what
is
you
why
care
I'm
about. Them
saying
as
if we win at the end of the
you're
season,
falling
I
for
am
the
coming
trolling.
for their heads.
You
I'm
guys have got a
coming
bigger
for them.
problem. That's your title holders in English league is going to be equaled.
That is the worst. As a Man United fan, Liverpool winning their 20th Premier League is the worst thing that could ever happen to us and happen to Ferguson. And I've been looking at United games lately. If you look at the goals we've been conceding, you can't say that's the manager's fault, honestly, because
No, no, I don't blame. No, I don't blame the manager. I don't.
some
No,
of
you
the
can't.
goals we've
You
been
can't blame the manager.
conceding, actually, all the goals we've conceded in like the past 5 games have all been due to players' errors, not due to tactical mistakes or anything like that. Just players being. I can't even find it. How do I even describe them?
Yeah, yeah. You've got a scam of a players. I mean, Dylan, when you look at Man United and where they are right now, I mean, I mean, it's quite a low point for them. You know.
Onana. Start with Onana, please.
Yeah,
Come on,
it's a
start
very
with
low point
Onana.
for them.
Listening to financial one of the sports financial guys, and he say that whatever they're doing in the backroom background does not even impact any of our finances. The thing is, we have two major issues, which is the glazers and which is wages and transfer fees. We lost 4 million trying to sign in Dan Ashworth, another 4 million trying to sack him, 12 million with Ten Hag, players' wages, and we still have the debt the Glazers took. Now, if you look at Liverpool on the other hand, Liverpool saw what United are doing and decided to take care of their fans. I don't know at the COP end they changed something with the tickets, especially for the kids and all that to build a community. They saw how the United disaster class with Ineos trying to increase the prices for the tickets and all that. And so Liverpool decided to do the opposite and actually freeze the price of tickets from preventing it to go any higher so they can allow
I don't
fans.
think they done that out of kindness. There's the fans. If you remember, the fans a few years ago actually protested it.
Yeah, you see now Liverpool saw what Man United did and saw the hostility that it brought, and that small thing, brought happiness to the fans. Now you see what Ineos are doing is so inconsequential right now, because you look at our major financial issues are the Glazers, wages and transfer fees and sacking managers. That's our biggest. It's not sacking someone. I mean, if you sack someone at the canteen who earns less than £10,000 a year, how does that affect compared to Rashford who's earning 300,000 a month? So what
A
that means
week.
is a week, not
Not a
even a
month.
month, a week. A player's salary a week is equivalent to like 10 staff at United right now. So it's so inconsequential.
Yeah, I mean, you had the opportunity for the Qatari money, but you chose Ineos. That was the
Nah, the Glazers chose Ineos because they don't want to let go of that financial cow, that cash cow.
yeah, exactly. That's how it goes. Yeah, exactly. That's how I want.
And you know, one of the reasons why Europa is a big issue for us is we lose with the Adidas deal. If we don't qualify for Champions League next season, we're going to be fined 10 million.
Whoa.
That's okay.
So that
That's
is
just
why
10
the
million is small
Europa
for
League
Man
is
United.
a pressure for us right now. It's a
You guys are
must.
just bleeding money now for fun. It's okay.
Yep.
It's part of the rhythm. It's part of the system. All right, guys. I think that was a good talk today, man. We just run out of time there. We'll come back next time. Well, next time we come back. I don't think you won the title yet, but you probably could extend it to 15 points.
Yeah. After
Could be
Manchester United
even
beat
worse.
us.
So the question from last week to this week has changed from Arsenal closing them down to how much of a gap can Liverpool win it by?
Yeah.
That's where we have reached. Yeah, that's where we reached. All right, guys. Thank you, man. Have a good one. Let's see.